Hi students. So today we are going to discuss about the very important topic in estimation, costing, valuation as subject. Okay. So in this, a very important topic is rate analysis. It is rate analysis, or otherwise we can call it as analysis of rates. So first of all, what is meant by a rate analysis? So it is a determination of a rates. So in the name itself clearly defines rate analysis. It is determination of rates. And what are the which rates we are going to determine? It is a particular item of a work. Particular item of a work we are going to determine the rates. Okay, and finally we can call it as a rate analysis. Okay, determination of rates for particular item of a work. Fine. Per particular item of a work, whether it may be in meters or in centimeters, we don't know. Centimeters, meters, or meter cube, whatever it may be, this comes under a units. So finally you can frame as determination of rates per unit. Unit, it may be centimeter, meter, or meter cube, whatever it may be, numbers also. Okay, for a particular item of a work, we can call it as a rate analysis. And then what are the requirements? What are the requirements for the analysis of rates? So for example, I need a I need to go for the rate analysis. What are the major important requirements, and what are the main need for doing a rate analysis? One is very important one: work. Work should be available. Work should be available. This is the first major important one. And second one, quantity of material should be known. Quantity of material should be known, as well as what is the cost of that material. Cost of that material has to know. So, and the last one is, third one is, so we are having work, and we are having quantities of material along with cost of material. Is it not enough to these two parameters? Again, we want one more requirement is very important to construct this work as well as these quantities. Very important is labor should be required. Labor should be required, so that labor labors also required, so that how many labors required to complete this work, to quantity of this material we have to finish. So must and should labor should be required, and how much capacity has to done that particular work. So these are the three parameters very important to complete the analysis of rate. And along with this, we'll go to the a small definition. We can call it as a overhead. In the rate analysis, very important point is here overhead. What is meant by overhead, or otherwise we can call it as a overhead cost, and it is very important for so 2 marks question. What is meant by overhead cost? So which includes other than the construction. You just remember this word, other than the construction works. Other than the construction work we are going to include. Very best example for this, other than the construction we are going to include, that is we can call it as a overhead cost. So for example, best example, I need to complete this building, so I need to establish some office first of all. Okay, some engineers required, site engineers required. So this office establishment we can call it as a overhead. And next one, uh, plans. How can to verify how the work is going on at the site? By means of a printouts. So printing is one of the overhead cost, and supervision is one of the overhead cost. So these are all comes under overhead cost. So that we can call it as a, other than the construction work, we can call it as a overhead cost. So from the starting itself, continuously I'm saying work, work, work. Always I'm saying work, work, work. What is meant by work here? Very important word here. What is meant by a work? Okay, and work. We'll discuss the work. Hmm. For example, I need to construct a building. So what are the key parameters to construct a building? First of all, first one is excavation is very important. Second one is, okay, planning and designing. It is other way. So first I'm going to for constructing, I'm saying excavation, and after that foundation. Second one is foundation, and the third one is plinth level. We can call it as a plinth beam, and fourth one is after the plinth beam columns, walls, columns or walls. A walls, it may be either brick wall or stone masonry wall. And the fifth one is after the wall, slab should be constructed. And after that, okay, fine. These are the key parameters. One is uh, excavation, foundation, a plinth beam, walls or columns, slabs. After that, our construction work is completed? No. Plastering is also one of the work, and pointing. These are some different works also there. So these are the different categories of the works. For each work, we are going to calculate the a rate analysis. For each work, we are going to calculate the rate analysis. For example, excavation. What is the rate for excavating? And for foundation, what is the how much rate we have to construct this foundation per meter cube, per say, whatever it may be, a plinth beam per meter cubic, how much it is cost for constructing the walls, for constructing the slab per meter cube, how much it is the cost. We have to calculate. These are the different items of works. So in the starting, clearly I explained the determination of rates per unit of a particular item or different particular items. We can call it as a rate analysis. And next we'll go to the, for example, if foundation. I'll start with from one simple example for better understanding. For example, lime concrete work or cement concrete work is there. And we know about this concrete. What is meant by concrete? It is a mixture of cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate along with water. Okay. For this, I'm going to use this cement concrete in a foundation work. Cement concrete in foundation. Either it may be cement concrete, the grade is for example M15, M20, M30, whatever it may be. Cement concrete in foundations. So in the starting, after the definition of analysis of rate, I explained about the requirements. What are the requirements? So work has to be no. This is the work. What is the work? Cement concrete in foundation be the work. Okay, that is the work point. And the second parameter is, what is the second one? Quantities of material. Quantities of material should be no. Okay, along with this, rates also we have to know. Okay, So what are the quantities of material? Now we'll discuss. So work we already defined, that is cement concrete. I am writing this word cement, cement concrete in foundation. This is the work. For cement concrete, what are the materials should be required? So just now I have explained the materials in cement concrete. One is cement has to know, and the second one fine aggregate has to know. Third one coarse aggregate. Okay, water is also there, admixture is also there, whatever it may case. These are the materials for cement concrete preparation. Is it enough? Materials is enough. And how much quantity of cement has to know, and how much quantity of fine aggregate has to know, how much quantity of coarse aggregate has to know, and water maybe. Okay, so already work and materials has to know, already defined materials, and quantities has to prepare. How we are going to calculate these quantities? Okay, for example, I'll go with in problem. I clearly explain how to calculate the quantities also. Okay, finally I got some quantities. Cement is, for example, 2 bags, and fine aggregate is 1 cubic meter, coarse aggregate is 2 cubic meter, whatever it may be, may case. So this is 2 bags of cement, and this is 1 cubic meter, and this is 2 cubic meter, for example. Just say it is an example. I got this quantities also. Cement, 2 bags required. For fine aggregate, 1 cubic meter is required. Coarse aggregate and 2 cubic meter is required. Okay, is it enough? No, quantities of materials along with this rates also. For 2 bags cost, what is the single bag cost? It is available, and 1 cubic meter of fine aggregate cost is also available, and 1 cubic meter of coarse aggregate cost is also available. Here, coarse aggregate is either it may be 20 mm, 10 mm, 12 mm, 10 mm, whatever it may be. Okay, so it is clearly mentioned in the work. For example, cement concrete in foundation with 20 mm grade of aggregates, 20 mm grade of aggregate, that clearly mentioned in the work. And the second one is quantities of materials. Clearly I explained what are the materials has to there in cement concrete along with this quantities and along with the rate. Now we'll discuss the rate. How we know this rate? So in every state there is a one important one, SOR. SOR, or example, or otherwise SSR. Rates are the available for AP. For example, if you are going to take AP, means it is a standard rates. These are the standard rates which are available for, or we can call it as schedules of rates. For cement, how much it is cost. For fine aggregate, how much it is cost. For water is also how much it is cost. It is clearly available in standard scheduled rates. From this standard scheduled rates, we can get this rates of different items of work. Okay, or otherwise standard scheduled rates or scheduled of rates. These are rates available in different states, different books also available. Okay, so this is the second one. See, first point is very easy. Work we know, these are the different items of work. Excavation we know, foundation we know. These are the different items of work. For example, if I take the foundation level, cement concrete, we have to for by using M15 grade cement concrete in foundation with 20 mm aggregate. This is the work. For the work, how we are going to calculate the materials, and for example, if we got the materials as well as if we got the quantities also, how we are going to get these rates? From the SSR, standard schedule rates, or SOR, we can call it as SOR or SSR, scheduled of rates, based upon the year, purchasing year. Okay, and the last one is, I explained the what is the last one, and the third one is, what is the third one? labors. For constructing this work, labors must and should required. And also capacity. Okay, these are the three important parameters or important requirements to construct that particular work. Okay, how many labors required, or otherwise what are the different categories of labors are there, that has to be known. For constructing this particular work, different labors has to know. Am I right? So that how many labors are required, we'll discuss what are the labor. I'm saying only for this cement concrete work, roughly or approximately, I'm saying these are the labors required. First, we'll categorize the number of labors or different types of labors. First one is head machines. First one is head machines. And the second one is machine. Third one is Mazdoors. And the fourth one is coolies, daily coolies, you can call it. And the last one is Bisti. Okay, these are the different types of labors available in an Indian. Head machine, in the Telugu we can call it as the Mestri. And supporting to head machine is there. And the third one is Mazdoor. In Telugu we can call it as Beldar. Oh, in English also it is their word, Beldar. Mazdoor we can call it as a Beldar. And the coolies. Coolies are either it may be women coolies or men coolies. And the last one, what is this Bisti? He is a water person, water boy. You can call it as a water boy. Okay. So how many quantity or capacity required to construct this cement concrete in foundation by means of a head machine? Not required, just half capacity is required. What is this half capacity? His presence is only half day. Okay, half day, his presence it's enough. And next, coming to the machines, one or two person is required for monitoring or whatever it may be, this or to complete this particular work. And next one, Mazdoors, 10 or 12 numbers are required to complete that cement concrete in foundation. And next one, coolies, 15 to 20 numbers, 15 to 20 number coolies are required to complete the cement concrete in foundation. And next one, last one is Bisti, he is a water person, so that one or two numbers is required. Here the quantity mentioned in numbers, I'm mentioning in numbers. This is also half number and the two numbers, one or two numbers. Okay, these are the different categories of labors. One is head machine, mazdur, and coolies, bistis. Head machine, half number is required to complete that particular work. Machine, one or two numbers is required to complete that work. Mazdur, 10 to 12 numbers, and coolies, 15 to 20 numbers is required. And the last one is Bisti, water boy, so one or two numbers is required. Along with this, one more addition is required other than this one. And simply I'm writing in this requirement only, sixth one is as lump sum. What is this lump sum? We can call it as sunrise. It is not sunrise, sunrise. So for all team members, head machine, some requirements are there. For example, tea, coffees, the juices, these are the required, water, these are the basic needs required. So we can add in lump sum rates. There is no any particular rate for lump sum. Either it may be 1 rupee, 2 rupee, it's not. Roughly you can add as 100 rupees or 200 rupees or 300. It is depends upon the work. And also again I'm repeating, these labors are approximately, I'm saying, for different work different labors will be required and different count also will be changed. Okay, So I'm saying this is only for cement concrete work. Okay, so next we'll go to the simple problem. Then only you can get an idea how I'm going to calculate this rate analysis. Okay, so in the next video, we'll discuss the clear how to calculate the rate analysis for cement concrete in foundation by using M15 grade concrete. So I'm summarizing the entire session. So first of all, the rate analysis. So it is an name itself, determination of a rate. Determination of a rate. What are the which rate we are going to determine? It is an particular item of a work. Particular item of a work is very important word. Particular item of a work. Instead of in such a way, it is an unit by using of unit. That unit it may be either cement centimeter or meter cube or numbers also. Either it may be either centimeter, meter cube or centimeter cube or numbers, running meters, whatever it may be. Okay, determination of a rates per unit. That should be a 1 meter cube, 1 centimeter, 1 number, 1 per unit of a particular item of work. This is the rate analysis definition. And next, what are the basic requirements? So I need to calculate the rate analysis. And this is the basic requirement. First is work should be available. Must and should work has to be known. Either it may be foundation work or plinth level for columns or whatever it may be, work has to be known or work has to be available. And the second one is quantities of materials should be required. I mean, for example, work for that particular work, what are the materials has to be to construct that particular work, materials has to be known. Okay, and along with this materials, how much quantity has to be required to complete that particular work has to be we have to calculate. Along with this, rates also required. Rates. Okay, how to get the rates means by using standard schedule rates. It is completely depend upon state-wide rates. Okay, if I'm here in Andhra Pradesh, I need to use standard schedule rates of AP. Okay, from that we can get that rates of the different quantities of material. And after these two categories, for constructing this entire session, we need a labors and also quantities of labors. Quantities of labor in the terms of numbers, and these are the requirements of the to calculate the rate analysis. And next one, very important definition for 2 marks also, that is overhead. What is meant by overhead cost? Other than the construction work, it is not included as a construction work. Other than the construction work means here, so I need to come construct this building or bridge or road work, whatever it may be. I need to establish before going to construct an office. So that establishment office, we can call it as a overhead cost. Okay, and the rent we have to pay, that should be also as overhead cost. For watching or seeing the paper as a plan paper or a design paper, whatever it may be, the printouts also require, so that printings is an overhead cost. These are all different other than the construction work, we can call it as a overhead cost. And also supervisions, these are all comes under the overhead cost. Next one, very important one. So from starting, I'm summarizing what are the works means here. The different in building, these are the different items of a work. For different items of a work, we have to calculate the rates. Clearly explained. For example, two concretes are there: lime concrete or cement concrete. First, I am going to calculating this cement concrete. For cement concrete, these are the materials required: cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, and these are the quantity materials. And along with these materials, what are the quantities? Two bags cement, fine aggregate, 1 cubic meter, 2 cubic meter. This is the quantity. And rates we have to take from the SOR, schedule of rates or standard scheduled rates. It is completely depends upon the state. For example, if it is a AP, you can take as AP rates. For it may be in Karnataka, we can take as Karnataka rates. And along with this, labor capacity also required. These are the different types of labors which are available. One is head mason, Mazdur, Coolie, and Bisti. So these are the quantities of labors for only cement concrete. I'm saying, okay. You should not think a wrong way. I'm saying it is only in foundation, that to be cement concrete. For cement concrete in column, cement concrete in slab, it is either it may be changes will be applicable. I'm saying these are the roughly case, one or two numbers, 10 to 12 numbers, these are the approximation I'm saying. Okay, so these are the just introduction about the rate analysis. In the next video we'll discuss the how to calculate the cement concrete in foundation with 20 mm or 30 mm 40 mm aggregate. Okay, so thank you.